Good morning again, one and all. We had a fun day yesterday. It was, I believe, 106, and Julie and I got brain bake. We tried to do as much as we possibly could. We had to run and get some straps, and we went to 3 different home improvement stores and they were out of straps, and that really wiped out a lot of our day. We have to run and get more 2x6s today. What we're pretty much doing is we're tying the whole roof together. Top and bottom, just for extra support. This is going to be done here very, very shortly, and we are covering it. We are going to throw the tarps on. We're going to set some earth bags, and this bad boy is getting covered today. We did not get the door framed in yesterday because of brain bake, but as I believe I've mentioned previously, as we build, we feel as though that we need to shore things up this way, that way, put in supports, and we got the roof completed. Pretty cool, huh? We are getting this thing buried today. What are you doing? We got this stray cat. He decided that he was going to adopt us, and our cats hate it. It's a male, and he's not fixed, and our cats are fixed. So we got a dominance thing that's that's constantly at work. Hey, Poke. Hey, Pokers. Up, and here comes MJ. MJ hates this cat. Pokey, he tolerates him. He's just like, you know what, kid? Yeah. Poke, you tolerate him, don't you? MJ, not so much. Huh, MJ? Yeah. He'll end up tearing into him here in 10-15 minutes. But anywho, here it is. The problem is you end up running over, getting a load of ties, which burns you out. Then you come back over here, you unload them, you put them into place, which burns you out, and you got to take a couple of breaks throughout. But you can actually see it coming together now. I'm probably going to put a few supports in there just for kicks and giggles in order to make sure everything holds this way and that way. Nothing worse than, no problem in overkilling when it comes to going underground. And I'm not an engineer. I'm an individual that can swing a hammer and turn a screwdriver. So today is only supposed to be, I believe, 105. So we're gonna see what happens today. But there you go, you've got your update, got the roof on the tunnel, and now we're gonna start covering it up. And once it's covered, well, I'm not gonna bury it completely today because I've got way too much digging of earth in order to get enough product to cover, but we will get all of the tarps and everything on it, and that'll be one of my next shots.
Alrighty then, let's get this party started. So what we're doing right now is our tunnel. We don't have enough pond liner to reach all the way from one end to the other to cover everything complete. So we're using 2 layers of visqueen. Then we're putting down our blue tarps, and then we are putting down our pond liner. So we're going to have quite a bit of water resistance and insulation. So I'm going to set this up here, and I mean, nothing too exciting about just laying down visqueen, but I just want to kind of let you follow along. Alright, so this is going down first. I think I swallowed a bug. You know, and what this really is for is just to make sure that we don't have anything that's going to be too abrasive on the pond liner. So this barrier is going to help protect that.
Tell me if any of those lights work. Enough to light it up. Should I grab another spotlight? How many work? Show you the pond liner. Thick stuff. It's got a strong chemical smell though. I was going to use this stuff for our aquaponics in our greenhouse. I gotta find out if fish can even survive in that toxic stuff. But it is being buried. It is on the outside of the structure. And got him. Nice job, Joey. I don't know if many of you have red wasps. But here in Texas, they are the biggest nuisance and they are very, very aggressive. And Julie always has 5 to 10 cans of wasp spray around.
Flop 'em. Die!
Well, top of the morning to ya. Oh, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be my neighbor? Well, looky. Does that have a different feel to it now? We got brain bake yesterday, and I showed we were running to town. I think it was like 4 o'clock, 107 degrees. It just got to the point to where we were just like, it just wasn't gonna be in our best interest to continue to work in that baking heat. But what y'all think? Got a lot more dirt to put on it. And it's getting there. It's getting there. Really had to be careful dumping up on top of the roof in case there was any sticks or anything like that. I didn't want it puncturing the pond liner. And over here, I had to build up a good 7 feet so that I could work my way in here and I could start dumping. Got me a tree. So I really wanted a little bit more slack with the pond liner, but it was only a 20 by 30, and because of the different elevations of the sandbags and the railroad ties, it's holding up. I mean, this pond liner can definitely hold up to being stretched like this, and in this heat it is going to stretch. And I don't believe it's going to rip. So what I'm doing now that the pond liner is on here is I have to start getting more product to put up here and bury it. And a lot of this is just sand. Our property here has a lot of sand to it. Let me show you here. Look at that. That's just me scraping the ground. That's just pure sand. And it's what they call sandy loam here in Texas. And you know, different parts of Texas, you got sand, you got like you can see here, another part of my property down by the pond is clay. And again, other parts of Texas, you have rock. And that's very little around these parts. I don't get much rock around this piece of property. Other piece of property that we're working on has more rock, but again, it's got a large percentage of sand. So let me show you. Set up the camera over here to show you a little cleanup footage. Since this is part of the shelter, of having to acquire dirt in order to get this thing buried.
I'm not going to put too much in, but let's see what we get. Well, good morning all. Today is a start of another beautiful day. It is actually, it's overcast and it seems like we're gonna possibly stay in the low 90s today. You know, since we started this project, we have been in the hundreds almost every single day. There's been a couple of days where we were in the high 90s, and I never really would have thought that Julie and I would have been able to hang the way that we have in these temperatures, but I guess it just kind of goes to show how the dollar will drive you. The worst case scenario is when fire ants. Oh, that sucks. Can't stand flat-footed around these parts too long. You'll have something crawling up on you and biting you. We don't work on Saturday. You know, the Bible says you got to take a day off and recoup, otherwise your body is just going to break down. And I can confirm that. My body has been breaking down horribly over this last month. And yesterday I squished my, I did a lot of squishing lately. So, but anywho, so I'm gonna go ahead and just show you a little clip of me moving this dirt, and just to keep you up to speed as to what we're doing, and we'll go from there. Take a little break here. We got a Texas downpour going on, and everything gets all slick, and that red clay sticks to everything. We got a lot of work with burying that stuff over time. But these Texas rain showers only seem to last about anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour. Very rarely they last over an hour. So come inside, chat with Julie. She's in here busy with the business, and grab a sandwich.
so one of the things we're getting done today is getting rocks spread, and I called in a belly dump, 23 yards for $900. You know, that's not that bad of a price, especially here in Texas. So it looks pretty good. So let me pay this gentleman and I get back.
Well, good morning, campers. We have another gorgeous day to start out with. It's about 8 a.m. We're starting to slow down a little bit in our progression. But today, I'm going to end up finishing the wall here, which should take me about an hour. And once the exterior of the wall's finished up, then we are going to continue on the inside and get it all built. You know, you can't put enough supports in an underground shelter. And, you know, whether it looks makeshift or not, if it ends up stopping the building from rocking this way or this way or just flat out down, you know, that's what we're doing. And we've dumped you know, an extra $400 or $500 into plywood and 2x6s in order to get this thing framed up. But better that instead of finding that, who knows, we could be sitting in it and have a small earthquake or a big earthquake, and we want to make sure that this thing isn't going to come down on us. So let's get to it. How many of you builders out there, since this COVID nonsense began, have noticed that because people don't want to work and people are just half-assing their jobs? I don't know if you can see that or not, but these nails, this is just a 1-pound box, costs like $7-8. They're coming out of the box crooked. The heads are like half missing on half of them, and you know, just the craftsmanship of a bunch of these American companies are just shit. And you know, it's really a joke. The plywood and the lumber that we're getting these days, that they're calling a premium, are number 2s that you would get before this CV crap. And it's really a joke, man. It really kind of pisses me off. And another thing is I'm really sick and tired of people taking advantage of, now, let me finish, taking advantage of upping their prices. Okay, obviously the cost of everything is going up, but there's certain things to where costs don't have to go up. And, you know, they just have this narrative out there that everything has to go up because, you know, this over here is going up. That's what we're trying to do in our business is, you know, we have to obviously reflect when a distributorship
writes us and says the cost of this cook oven is going to go up due to the fact that the price of metal, has doubled. That's understandable. And we don't throw any extra profit on top of those costs, which I'm seeing out there, especially a lot of my competitors, as to what they're doing, trying to deceive people. So, you know what? It takes as many of us as possible in order to keep this price gouging crap down. So if prices go up, I'd hope that most of you would do what we do. Up the cost of the materials into your, final price, but you don't have to throw on an extra 10, 20, 30% just because you think that you can get away with it. So, you know what? There's my little soapbox pitch for the day that really kind of irks me. Every time I walk into Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that, quality goes down, price goes up. Guess it's the sign of the times. So one thing that dealing with railroad ties is nothing's square, nothing's plumb. You just have to tweak it this way, tweak it that way, try to make it look as square and as level as possible, but it just comes down, you just got to get jiggy with it, you know what I'm saying?
Today's kind of a weird day. I put on previously that Julie had to go and get an ultrasound and some x-rays because in our initial health checkups, in order to get insurance here in Texas, they happened to find some bumps on her neck, and we just got a call. We were down here working on the shelter, and it looks like that we have to go see a specialist due to the fact that they have found some nodules, I guess is how they're calling it. So my daughter, she's on her last 2 weeks of school to be a PA. So she's pretty much in a position to where she's updating us on everything that she knows and, recommending everything that she's learned. She's talked with her instructors and professors. Where it's located, I guess, is rarely cancerous. Rarely. So that's pretty much where we're at. We're now going to knock off for the rest of the day and we're gonna figure out what's going on. So we shall see.